Hi, everybody. I'm Jordan Cunningham, and my topic I chose to research and present about is the language barrier for Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens. I'll give a quick overview of my presentation before we dive into it. So here we go. Over 40% of Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens report to not speaking English very well as of 2022. This language barrier can cause major problems for these citizens in many aspects of their lives, including their ability to receive quality healthcare and education, secure high-paying jobs, climb the economic ladder, and participate in their community as a whole. The thesis of my paper is overall non-English speaking Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens have a more difficult time accessing the resources guaranteed for every American citizen due to their language barrier, causing them to be treated as second-class citizens in a country that promises equal opportunity for everyone. Diving deeper into each aspect of hardship that can occur due to a language barrier, we'll first start with the quality of healthcare that non-English speaking Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens receive. A poll conducted by the Pew Research Center shows that 44% of Hispanic adults say that the reason for Hispanic population having worse healthcare than the overall population is due to language and cultural differences. The National Library of Medicine states more than one half of Hispanics thought the healthcare system treats people unfairly based on their race or ethnicity, and nearly three-fourths thought that it treats people unfairly based on how well they speak English. Racism, as well as inability to correctly convey to patients their diagnosis due to the shortage of translators, makes the quality of healthcare much worse for Hispanic and Chicano citizens. This is a major issue due to the increased risk many Hispanic and Chicano citizens face in their daily lives, including more dangerous jobs, more pre-existing health conditions, and housing in communities with more environmental problems. I'll save the dangers of working for blue collar later in the presentation, so let's focus on worsening environmental factors. The Public Health Reviews reports that 91% of Hispanic population lives in metropolitan areas. 28% live near a major highway, and overall more likely to live in areas with industrial pollution than non-Hispanic whites. They also report that 21.5% of U.S. Hispanics live near Superfund sites, which the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency defines as the most polluted hazardous waste site managed by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency as cleanup areas with potential threats to human health and the environment. This increased exposure can lead to an increased chance of cancer, as well as cardiovascular diseases, acute and chronic respiratory illness, and poor pregnancy outcomes. Finally, the U.S. Office of Minority Health reports that 16.8% of Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens don't have medical insurance, while the non-Hispanic white population of U.S. citizens is only at 5.3. This is another large issue, especially with the rise in medical expenses in the U.S. today. To sum up, non-English speaking Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens receive worse healthcare, have an increased chance to be admitted to a hospital, and on average have to pay more for those expenses than the non-Hispanic white demographic. Moving on to the economy, we find that the average household income for the Hispanic citizens is lower than the average income for white citizens, 44,782 compared to 61,394. This places the Hispanic population much lower in the social stratification. As you can see in the picture here, the Hispanic community or the Hispanic population posts a 43% in the lower income, 49% in middle income, and only 8% in the upper income. While the white population is only 24% lower income, 55% middle income, and 21% upper income. Part of this is due to the inability for non-English speaking citizens to get higher paying jobs, most of which require fluency in English. This forces Hispanic and Chicano citizens to work higher risk, lower paying jobs. Jobs they have to work much longer until they are financially stable enough to retire. This is partially due to the lower average length of education for Hispanic and Chicano citizens. As you can see in the graph here, 37.8% of Hispanic citizens have less than a high school diploma, compared to only 14.4% of the entire US population. Moving on to college, only 62.2% have a high school graduate degree or higher, compared to 85.6% for the general US population. and then a bachelor's degree or higher, only 13% of the Hispanic population have that, while 28.2% of the overall US population have it. Overall, there are too few programs supporting non-English speakers, which lead to the inability to receive higher education jobs or higher education, which eventually leads to lower paying jobs. Finally, not speaking English can lead to less community involvement for non-English speaking Hispanic and Chicano citizens. The shortage of Spanish-speaking translators can cause non-English speakers to miss out on community events and not connect as well with other members of the community. This lack of engagement in the community can lead to feeling of isolation, loneliness, increased anxiety, depression, and reduced sense of belonging, according to the American Psychological Association. So to sum it up, the language barrier struggles that non-English speaking Hispanic and Chicano U.S. citizens face can impact numerous aspects of their lives. This worsens their overall quality of life, which by definition shows that they are treated as second-class citizens in the United States. Thank you for listening to my presentation. These are my references here, and bye.